The iconic thing about the Mini and why I love the Mini is the fact that when it came out, movie stars bought them, rock stars bought them, the Beatles had them, you know, the royal family had them, but so did your dad. There's something about these Minis. Even one of the young workers in the Mini factory that we visited at the end, I asked him a straight question. I just said, what's your favourite, the new Mini or the old Mini? And without a moment, he just went, the old one. It's the one you've got to have. I love racing cars, and I have been racing cars, and one of the things they wanted me to race at Brands Hatch in a Mini, and the legendary Paddy Hopkirk, he was going to give me some tips on how to drive this Mini. I got in the car with him, and he's 83 years old, and we're driving, and the camera car was following us, and then he said, well, this is rather boring. He said, shall we do something exciting for them? And I said, yeah, whatever. And he said, okay. He said, get up to 60 miles an hour there. And I said, okay, Paddy. And he said, no, when I tell you, I want you to turn the wheel right round. And I said, but Paddy will flip. And he looked at us with his lovely twinkling eyes. He said, do you trust me, son? And I said, I do, Paddy. He said, okay, on the count of 3. 1, 2, 3, now. And I was cheering, and he said, don't get cocky, son. He said, no, you got to do it backwards. He said, that's the one that gets all the girls. And he's a lovely, lovely man. This is the fastest Mini in the world. Yep. And I'm going to sit in it. Yep. You never see a Mini with a parachute on the back. I mean, but the tyres were that big. The engine was not a Mini engine. It was a Ford 1.8 litre something or other. And I got in with this guy, and I love them. They're just sitting going, hello. And I'm sitting in this thing. I'm going, what am I doing? And he took off. This thing got up about 140 miles an hour in a quarter of a mile. It was nonsense. And from there, I felt very confident when I got into the Mini at Brands Hatch. We did very well in it. And as soon as it finished, I just had to buy it. A gentleman called Ron Maiden had 2, and he said, oh no, I'm sorry, I can't sell it to you, Brian, it's not possible. And his wife came up and she went, Ron Maiden, you've got 2 of them, and you brought it because they're both the same colour, and he bought a second one without telling his wife, so he could pull it out and she wouldn't know one from the other, but she'd found out that he did have 2. She said, Brian, you can buy it, give him a fair price. And that's how I got that car. And I raced it all over Europe last summer, and I just had the best time. It's such a fun car. Watch Cars That Rock exclusively on Quest.